Welcome, one and all. We are back with another episode of the Wide 80 podcast, episode 9.
This
We're
many,
getting
man.
into double digits, my guys.
Ooh, close.
Same group of guys as always. I got short stuff golf, Colby to my left, and then underneath as always. And I'm very thankful and appreciative that you let me know that that's your spot. You're like, this is where I want to be.
Yeah, I like it. I like it down here.
It's solidified, and because I thought it didn't matter, but now I know that that's where you want to be. But as always,
I got some weird pickiness,
we got the 2023 fantasy baseball champion Chandler in the building. Season is underway.
Yep. Officially not the champ anymore. Give me something to work towards.
No, I mean you got the belt. It's in the case, the trophy case. But we're
Somewhere
making
around
room
here.
for we're making room for another one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So today was super interesting. I being with T-Mobile, I got MLB TV for free, which is amazing. And I had they have an option where you can do 4 games, even more than that. But if you want each individual box to be equal size, 4 games going on at once. It was it was overwhelming, and I realized I can't follow things like I used to. Back in the day, back in my heyday, I would have like UFC going on in the living room, and then like basketball in the bedroom, and I walk back and forth, walk back and forth, walk back and forth. Everything's right here, and I cannot follow it. I'm like, what happened the last at bat? What did Mitch Keller do?
I think they call that ADHD, my guy.
I couldn't do it. So, gentlemen, how are you? I mean, Astros, Yankees. We talking or no?
Rough. I will say I feel like the MLB TV and hopefully maybe T-Mobile sponsors us because their stock their stock might
free
go
plug.
up here.
I'm just
Who
saying.
knows? Yeah, free plug.
Yep.
But that's enough to convince me to switch carriers right there. I was jealous when you were showing us that split screen of all 4 games.
Yeah.
But yeah, opening day, gents. Opening freaking day.
How are you guys feeling? I mean, I know that we have 2 pretty big Astros fans here, and to go in there and it's 1 game, the first game, right?
Mm-hmm. It's baseball, man.
And drop
games.
1 to the Yankees, which I'm sure if they're the team you want to not lose to, that's probably one of them, given history and reputation. How did you guys feel? How did you guys feel seeing Framber Valdez, the ace, going against, the Nestor Cortezes of the world? How do we feel?
It was rough. What do you have, like 6 walks?
6 walks, man. Yeah.
Dude could not find the strike zone.
He started off pretty solid. Those first few innings were pretty good. I'll take a few walks from him, especially again, he's the emotional guy. So like he walks 1, he's walking 2.
Yeah. And once he gets in that headspace, it's hard to get him out of it. That's just the kind of a pitcher he is.
Yep.
I took
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I took Framber Valdez under 2.5 walks. Terrible bet. Terrible bet.
I mean, it's not a bad bet, really.
Yeah.
But
the line's 2.5 for a reason,
Yeah.
Yeah. That was tough. But
I think Astros started off last season 0-1 as well. Opening day, lost the game. I think that's how it worked. And
if there's a sport where 1 game literally means so little, it's baseball, right?
Yeah. It's just unfortunate because it was against the Yankees.
Starts to mean a little bit more when we get further into the season, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
but you want to see the Astros beat the Yankees. That's just me.
Always. Yep. I'll take the series win. We'll be all right.
Yep. And I didn't think that Framber had a rough day, but also Montero had a rough day. Presley had a rough day. I'm not too big on Montero. He's one of the guys that I wouldn't have cared for if we got rid of. He's kind of a one-trick pony to me. But, Hader, my goodness, 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning. Just, hey, let me show you guys how to do it.
Yep.
It was really special to watch that.
Between Presley and then Framber had 2 instances with bases loaded, and Presley loaded the bases as well. And I'm just like, that's terrifying to say the least, but really hard to win baseball games when you're allowing 9 runners to just chill on base between 3 innings.
And I absolutely hated it that it was Juan Soto that was the guy
to get the last out. Or to
there
get
you
that
go.
out. Yeah.
I
dude
hated
threw
it.
a piss missile
Yeah.
to
It was
home
good. It was a
plate.
good shot. Yeah.
That
Can't be
He's
mad
was
at
so
it.
good, but I hate him so much.
the tough thing was the best guys didn't really beat the Astros. It was Cabrera.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
it was the utility guys and the lower end guys. Judge didn't have a great game.
Yeah.
I think he had a double, but struck out twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty
Juan
impressive stat
Soto.
from Judge. I think all 8 of his opening days he's gotten hits on. No, so
Mm,
that's
I
pretty
remember he
good
had
from
a
a good
homer
hitter.
last year. I
dude.
was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
He had a home run on
Yeah.
his first at bat. I was like, I can play fantasy baseball.
Speaking of homer at first at bat, Mike Trout. Let's freaking go.
Mikey
Yes,
Trout.
sir.
Yep.
That's Colby's boy right
Overpaid for
now.
him, but I'm glad I
No,
picked him
no,
up.
dude, you could pay 50 for Mike Trout if he's healthy. It's not over. You know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
is
it just really,
unreal.
if there's a case of one man, like I know in history and a bunch of different sports, it was this guy is the team. I don't think that there's a better case than right now that Mike Trout is the Angels.
Yeah, don't be surprised if he starts taking pitching lessons and tries to
Yeah.
become Ohtani 2.0
Like
because
Ohtani can do it.
yeah, it's insane. I feel so bad for him almost every single day, even if it's the off season, because like, what does that guy have to look forward to?
Yep.
Yeah,
Not
I
a
mean,
team
was it 3-11 loss? Corbin Burns.
with 11
Yeah.
Ks.
Burning them down, son. My goodness.
Holy shit.
Was it 11 Ks today?
11 Ks.
The only hit he gave up was that Mike Trout homer. That's it.
Yeah.
He said, "Okay, fine. Well, you get one.
I'll give
Yeah.
you one
The
because I
rest of
feel
you were
Let me
sorry
sitting
for
down."
let me remind you guys, I am Corbin effing Burns.
Yeah,
you
no
know what I'm
kidding.
saying?
No
My
kidding.
goodness.
Dude, that's
Now I'm on the Orioles, so now what?
Yeah, yeah. And Baltimore's stock is just I think he's such a better fit there than he ever was at Milwaukee.
and
What are they
It's
at?
crazy.
You think they're gonna go over 100 wins this year?
After that, dude, yeah. I mean,
like maybe last week it would have said no,
yeah,
but after seeing that, I'm not
yeah.
trying to
That
say
was I think they had the
anything.
most I think they had the most impressive performance of the day so far.
Yeah,
For sure.
you just with that lineup, I'm talking specifically with the bats,
Mhm.
you don't get a break. There's literally like you Rutschman, you got uh, Gunnar Henderson, right?
Anderson.
Yeah.
You got Mountcastle, who was hurt often last year, but is a 20 plus homer guy, a solid first baseman
Yep.
at 3. And then you got the smaller guys like Mateo, who's just fast as a hiccup, and has will have a hopefully goes through stretches where he has a plus 300 batting average. Austin
Yep.
Hayes can rake whenever he feels like it. You
But don't forget about
Santander had
Santander.
4 RBIs. Yep,
Yeah,
4
don't forget
RBIs
about
today.
Santander.
I'm playing him. I don't talk about fantasy players I'm playing.
You
Like
got
they
Westberg,
don't
who started
exist.
off. He started off as the DH today, and then got replaced with O'Hearn at DH
Mm.
position because the pitchers got switched out. So they've got themselves a little platoon going at the DH spot. It's scary, man. It's like I don't know what you do right now. I mean, game one, right here I am hyping them up, but I just don't know how you pitch.
162 and 0.
Yeah, I don't know how you pitch against them at this point in
Phew.
time.
Yeah,
They
they're
also
rough.
had the best record in spring training, so coming out the gates hot is kind of expected.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I just you really look at that team from top to bottom, and it's who's supposed to be my easy out? Who's supposed to be like anyone can go yard on you at any
Yeah.
point, and the dudes that won't go yard on you are gonna get singles, steal bases, and make their way home.
Or bunt for doubles.
Yeah, bunt for doubles, right? No,
I think
that's
we're seeing the door open to a absolute powerhouse
Yep.
for many years to come. We're
Yeah,
we're witnessing that right now.
I'm not disagreeing with it. I mean,
Oh.
you can't. There's nothing you can say. I mean, they have to win. That's the thing. They have to win when it matters, though.
True.
And
Different story when
that's
playoffs come around.
I mean, regular season accomplishments and regular season stats only mean so much. Can you win the series at the end of the year, right? But yeah,
True
I
that.
mean, really some interesting players. Royce Lewis
Yep.
hits a home run, and I think
Yeah,
he was
boy.
2 for 2, and then quad injury, probably
Day
done for a
one.
little bit.
Day one, man.
And Chandler's been saying that forever. You
Yep.
could not mention Royce Lewis without Chandler pulling out a doctor's clipboard and being like, going down each ligament of his knee. Like, Chandler, I hate that he's right, but because literally I was like, Royce Lewis blasted a homer in the group chat, and Chandler's like, if he can stay healthy, he's gonna do that a lot. And then
Yep.
literally it had
Yeah.
to have been 7 minutes later.
Yeah.
He's like, already day to day.
Yeah. It's
That's
rough.
tough.
I have all the hope for the guy. I really want him to do well.
I picked him so early in my Serpentine draft.
He's the
And
Grand
after
Slam
that
king,
homer,
man.
you're
Looking
thinking
really good.
You're thinking like maybe that was the move.
Yep.
And then here we go. That team is riddled with injuries.
Yep.
And that team, my Serpentine team, I have Royce Lewis and Matt McClain in my lineup. And
Man, yep. When they come back.
Yeah. So I had to do some moving around. I had to put McClain on the IL, move Ezekiel Tovar to starting shortstop, and then I had a utility open, and I signed Mountcastle to be my utility.
Well, we'll get deeper into this as the season goes on, but this is my favorite part about fantasy baseball is like one guy goes down, somebody's got to step up. And with the Twins, they got plenty of them. He got a couple opportunities last year, but y'all keep an eye on Eduardo.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Edward Julian.
Yep.
He immediately came in to replace Royce as soon as he went down. Didn't really do too much, but give that guy a season.
I swear if he's hurt, I'm just going to be so sad because it really throws my other league in for a loop. But I really wanted to take time to appreciate our fantasy baseball team names. I really wanted to talk about it.
Yep.
So, Chandler's, you have Yordan Alvarez and you have Baum. Was it Alec Baum?
It's either Alec Baum or Alec Bohm, but for this instance, we're calling it Baum.
Baum. And it's literally Yordan's Bomb Squad. Fantastic. Like that. Clap it up.
Thank you.
9.8 out of 10.
Thank you.
9.8 out of 10. And then Colby drafted Kyle Schwarber for $3. And it's $3 Schwarber.
That's just want everybody to remember.
Just want everyone to know you're taking the most monumental move of the draft and making it your team name. That is incredibly impressive.
Did I want him? No. For $3, why the F not?
Yeah.
For $3, dude.
Yeah. No, you're
like
going for like 17, 18 bucks average.
Yep.
So, yeah, that has to be for mainly the category leagues.
Yep.
Like
I don't lose
just for the homers, you know?
Right.
Yep.
But
or 2.2 million people watched our $22 podcast. Something like that.
Let the good Lord be with you. And then I have Tristan Casas on my team. So my team is me Casas, Esu Casas.
That's solid.
If you tweak his name, I don't know if it's Casas or Casas, but it's Casas for the sake of the name. And I wish people would get on board with our team names. Like, more people need to understand you have to name your team a punny name with one of your players on your team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then on my Serpentine League, I have Josh Hader, and my team's Hader's gonna hate.
I like that.
That's my team.
It's either that or Hater.
I'm insane with these.
Yeah.
But
I got Zach Wheeler and Zach Gallen, so I'm Zach Attack in the other league.
See, it's straight to the point. It's efficient.
Yep.
And
in the other league, I have Alec Baum, and I just put bomb.com.
Yes, sir.
See,
classic.
It's so good. It's so good. No one can tell me anything different. It's so good. But people don't understand that, and it's super sad. So before we really dive in, want to take time to plug our social medias. Follow us TikTok, subscribe to us on YouTube, Wide 80 Podcast. Make sure you're spelling out the 80. Look for the blue logo. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on TikTok, and we are on the Apple Podcast app. Every Apple iPhone has that little podcast app that comes with the phone. You click on there, you search Wide 80 Podcast. We're popping up.
Oh, I meant to bring this up before we started today as well, but do y'all know that Spotify added video to their podcasts?
Did they?
You can actually watch video. Yeah, if you turn your phone sideways and that's how you uploaded it, you'll get video with it.
Interesting.
Yep.
Spotify, hit me up. We got to talk.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
But
yeah.
so getting more into baseball.
Shout out Natasha. She told me that.
Hey,
Shout out Natasha.
Natty
Always.
Ice.
Natty Ice.
Natty Ice is hilarious. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's for
Yes.
sure.
Oh,
a
that's
thing.
fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
old school, man.
I
Yeah, it
love
is
a
old
good
school.
nickname. I love a good punny name. It really gets me going. It's what really keeps me pushing forward every day.
She cold with it.
Yeah, she cold with it.
I want to talk about and get your guys' opinion. We kind of got our predictions out of the way as far as, so we talked about Cy Young, we talked about MVP, we gave a whole playoff picture. One little thing I really wanted to incorporate into this episode is I want to talk about which teams in the MLB do you guys think are going to really step forward as far as win total goes, and who do you think is stepping back? And that will kind of solidify. We kind of get all of our opinions, all of our predictions out of there, and then we just have to let the season unfold, and then we will find out if we're smart or stupid. And that's how these things work. That's how these things work. So
regardless of how it turns out, man, I just tell myself I'm smart.
Yeah, you know what? If no one else is going to, you got to.
Yeah, I got it, right?
That's how it goes. Like,
pat yourself on the back.
I have to maintain my mental fortitude one way or another. And if it's got to be me, it's got to be me.
Yep.
So let's talk about, I'll go first. You know, I'm always passing it off. I'll go first. As far as teams taking a step forward, I got the San Francisco Giants.
I like it.
And if you watched last episode, it's not a huge surprise because I think that they are going to actually make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. And what I mean by that is maybe win the wild card and then get knocked out in the next round. But I got the Giants. I think the addition to Blake Snell, I think the addition of Chapman and George Soler, I think that team is drastically better. We've all heard me really hype up that rotation as far as Logan Webb, Blake Snell, and Kyle Harrison. I think that three, that's top tier. And I might be higher on Kyle Harrison than most, but I think you're gonna get great pitching, consistent pitching from that team. Often, and when those bats get to going, if Chapman gets to going, Soler's hitting bombs, and you have Chandler mentions the platoon, you have guys like Flores, you got guys like Estrada that are just in very consistent players. I mean, even Wade I think it's against lefties. I think he kills lefties, but don't even give him a bat against righties or vice versa. But that team,
Conforto hit a bomb today too.
And he's always, Conforto is always a guy that I want to pick up in fantasy, and then I pick him up, nothing. Drop him, he's literally a prime Mickey Mantle. It's insane. But that's my team stepping forward. Going backwards, I got the Miami Marlins simply because the loss of George Soler and that rotation has been hit with plentiful of injuries. I mean, you got Luzardo, who's a super solid guy, but I think given the history of injuries with that lineup, I think it could get really rough at times. And with their bats, I think you're looking for Chisholm, however you say it.
Jazz.
Jazz. I think you're looking for him to be your superstar. And I don't know if he's capable of taking the whole team on his back right now. But then you got Josh Bell, Jake Burgers. Like, you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of underwhelming, but I hope Jazz works out because I love him as a character and I think he has all the potential. But I could see them really hitting some roadblocks, and I don't see them winning as many games as they did last year. So those are my two teams. What do you guys think?
I'm with you. Missing Sandy is tough.
Tough, super tough.
Yeah.
Let's show.
What you got, Colby?
I don't know if you could even consider them as a step forward, but after today, it's like they're really effing scary as the Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
With Corbin Burns is winning showed out, and it's just, to me, that's just like signs of things to come. And Like I think off pod, I was telling y'all, man, is we're really seeing a powerhouse start to play out, and I think they'll be around for a while. So Baltimore will probably be one of my improved, even though they were already good last year, but they just got better over the offseason. I do have two teams that I think that are just going to crap the bed this year. Los Angeles Angels. I think that with the loss of Ohtani, you were already like a below average team with him, and without him, you're just going to get worse. I think that they're going to take a big step back because they're lost in pitching and lost in hitting off of one player, and the New York Mets because they're just a huge dumpster fire. Don't know what's going to happen with those guys. I don't see them making any moves to improve their team. They're kind of just meddling up in the middle, and yeah, I think they're not going to make any movements forward. They're going to take a step back this year. So the Mets, Los Angeles Angels for a step back, and the Baltimore Orioles, they just got better. So you can go
The
with
Mets
those
is one of
guys.
those picks where you don't have to have any type of like evidence. You're just like the Mets because they're the Mets. Next
Yep.
question.
Next question.
What
Thanks
you
for
got, Chan
listening.
man?
So my team stepping forward this year, I've actually got them making the playoffs next year, not this year. They might
Uh-oh.
finish second. I'm hoping for second or third's really. Third is very realistic, but second is quite optimistic. I've got the Kansas City Royals. I think they have everything there to be, not the worst team in their division. I think that belongs to the Chicago White Sox this year. They literally just lost 1-0, which is not awesome. But just looking at Kansas City, they've got a solid rotation this year between Cole Ragans, Seth Lugo. If Michael Wacha plays like he did last year, and then if Brady Singer pitches like we know he can pitch, that's a solid, 1 through 4 in your rotation. They've also got a pretty incredible batting order for the youngsters that they have on the team. We all know about Bobby Witt. We've talked about Vinny Pascantino to death. The old veteran on the team, Salvi Perez. I'm really high on the fact that they picked up Hunter Renfroe this offseason, along with Nelson Velasquez from the Cubs. I liked him a lot.
Good pickups.
Mikael Garcia, their third baseman, their leadoff hitter. He hit a bomb today. Y'all keep an eye out on that
The
guy.
bomb.
Yeah, if I don't take him, somebody else should. But last year they had 56 wins. I'm looking at more, high 70s. They might crest 80 this year, but that'll put them if it's not Twins, Guardians, Royals, it's Twins, Royals, Guardians in that order for this season. And then next year, I really do have them making the playoffs. I've got two teams that I think are going to take a step back this year, and it's not a massive step back. For instance, the Tampa Bay Rays, they had 99 wins last season. I don't see them going over 90 this year. It's a big loss without McClanahan, and then we don't really have to talk about Wander Franco, but he was a good hitter who's no longer with them, right? I just don't see them. What they had like a 17 game win streak last year at one point in time. I just don't see it happening again. You take those 17 games, it's an 82 win team. So we'll see what's up. And then the Los Angeles Angels, just like Colby was saying, the loss of Ohtani, your whole team is Mike Trout. They had 73 wins last year. I don't think they break 60. I really don't. I think they're a Colorado Rockies, Oakland A's type record this year, which is very, very sad because I'm a big Mike Trout fan. But he'll give us those exciting moments like he did today, and then the team's going to get blown out like they did today, and it'll just be a fun stat line and a fun thing to talk about. But those are my three I got. I'm excited about the Royals, man. I really want them to come through.
Yeah, I mean, super spot on when it comes to the take on the Angels. I mean, the question I want to ask you guys, and I mean, I it's been asked before, but let's talk about it. I mean, at the trade deadline this year, are we gonna have some Mike Trout conversations?
Mm-hmm. Would love to
I
talk
mean,
about it.
what's the point? Like, it's almost rude to Mike Trout. I get that he's a big boy. He signs his contracts, and you got to play where you sign your contract. I get it. But if you have half a heart and you're a general manager, you got this dude still one of the best players in baseball. I don't think any real baseball fan disagrees with that. Like
Healthy,
Mike Trout is still one of the best players in baseball. If it when healthy, maybe the best. I mean, I know Ohtani can the modern day Babe Ruth, but I mean, like
Arguably,
there has to be a time where you sit him down and go, look, man, You've been like a son to me. You've been the literally the poster child for the Angels. Let's see if we can't, ship you somewhere where you have a shot. There's gotta be that conversation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year is not going to be pretty, to
Yeah.
both of you guys' point. It's
And I'm hoping some West Coast fans kind of chime in here because I had the opportunity to live out there for a little bit, go to a couple Angels games back when they had Ohtani and Trout. Those were the only jerseys you were seeing in the fans, right?
Yep.
Yeah, on the fans in the stands. That's it. Those are only two names that were being bought, only two names that were being shown up for and rooted for, and all that good stuff, right? While that was happening, they were still running their 4 tickets for $44, and you get 4 hot dogs and 4 beers at the same 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 beers,
for
$44.
$44.
So from an owner perspective, you already lost one of your largest, revenue gainers or generators in Ohtani. It's sports a business, right? And there is no love lost. They're not gonna say, Trout, you're a big boy, you can do whatever you want. Here, go find a team, actually try to win a championship. They're saying, how the hell do we make money if we lose this guy? Who's gonna come watch our team play? We're gonna have to do 6 tickets and 6 beers and 6 hot dogs for $33, just to get people in the freaking stadium because it's not happening any other way.
Yep.
Yeah, anybody want to just kind of real quick think about what are some cool? I think there's a couple of California teams that if Mike Trout could just stay on the West Coast, I think there's so much better teams there. Mike Trout going to the Seattle Mariners.
Oof.
That's
Like,
interesting.
like Mike Trout going to the Padres, Mike Trout going to the Giants. Like there's so many better teams just in the area right down the road. And, he's
The
stuck.
Dodgers. Huh.
No, I don't think he takes a
I'm not
deferment.
even gonna.
I don't think he takes a deferment.
No, and that's the thing. What's with the Dodgers saying, "Hey, okay, here's what the contract is worth, but you get this much here, and then when you're 73, you'll get the rest of your money." Like how I didn't
Taxes.
even know that was a thing until the Ohtani thing. But now Will Smith, he has deferred money in his contract.
Yeah. Same with Yamamoto. He did the same thing. But it's taxes, and maybe we can take another episode to get into that because that's a 30 minute.
We'll have a taxes episode
to a 1 hour conversation, especially if, for instance, Ohtani or Yamamoto go back to Japan after they retire. Then that's a whole different conversation of what that money actually looks like and how it gets taxed and what the United States government gets out of it, and also what the owner actually has to pay. It's a very long conversation, but great
Okay.
business decisions. I don't understand how you take it as a player personally.
Okay, so we'll take a step back for something. We won't talk about the taxes situation and the owner's financials. We'll stay in the financial realm and stay in the Ohtani realm. And let's talk about Shohei Ohtani and what or what not is happening with his investigation. I will say the latest update that I've seen is the commissioner of MLB wants to get this done quickly. He said, I want this to be a quick investigation, in and out. To me, it sounds like here's the thing. I'm not one of these guys. I joke. And for one, the memes are hilarious.
They're fantastic.
The whole Ohtani is speaking Japanese at a press conference, and then people are using subtitles and they're saying, like, I'm going to take the Yankees at -2.5.
Yeah.
And then, like, he's doing March Madness picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those memes are crazy. I love them. But as of right now, there's the only thing that points to Shohei doing something wrong comes from like a Twitter user that has like 700 followers. There's no validity or no sources. This Twitter guy said that there was a huge bet out of Ohtani's hometown. It was like $1 million bet, and it was like the Braves over 5.5 runs or something like that. And Ohtani pitched that day and was terrible. So there's like the alleging throwing games type of thing, but it literally was from a Twitter person that had 700 followers. There's not a source. There's nothing you can find besides that. But I think that roused up the conspiracy theorists, and I like it. I really do. But
I think it's crazy he played today.
yeah, like at the end of the day, I don't know what really sticks to Shohei, and I think they're going to ride with that. What are your guys' opinion? Me and Colby were talking before you hopped on, Chandler. We were kind of saying it's similar to the Trevor Bauer situation, where it's like Trevor Bauer's in these crazy, like sounds really bad cases, right? But nothing's really coming out as far as him doing any wrong. But he's still in the middle of the cases, so the league's like, I'm staying out in the event that there is some shit going on. Ohtani kind of in a similar situation.
I'm not the drama guy, and I'm not the what's the other word for it? We'll get to it later. But I feel like if this was almost any other player, as soon as that investigation opens up, he's not playing day one. He's not playing opening day.
There's that.
We saw that. You brought up Trevor Bauer, right? As soon as that investigation, and granted that
immediately
SA is a little bit different than betting.
Right? That is true.
But an investigation nonetheless, and most of the time those players are immediately stonewalled from participating in that team's activities anymore. So I don't know. I don't see this coming out fair either way you slice it.
The reason that, and I want to clear up like the comparison for me with Ohtani and Trevor Bauer is it looks really bad, but there's nothing really coming out in the end that is that bad than what the alleged action is. And so it's weird. And me and Colby were having the conversation. It's like if somebody were to say that Trevor Bauer should be able to play because he hasn't been found guilty of anything, then it's like, okay, then should Shohei Ohtani be able to play because he hasn't been found guilty of anything? I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to make that decision. I say cut them both. How about that? Kick them both out the league. I don't care. They're not on my team. I don't have them on my fantasy.
Guess if you're under investigation, then no, they don't play. But at the same time, they're not guilty, so why not let them play? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say about this is it's just the way everything's being reported. It just you don't know what's true and what's not, because at first it was Ohtani helping his interpreter out, and now the interpreter is stealing. So it's like, which one is it? And it just seems like stories are changing, and you don't know what to believe until something else comes out. Like,
I think
it's just weird.
I will say the shadiest part of it to me is the commissioner coming out saying, I want to wrap this up real quickly. And it's, Ohtani's the face of baseball. That's the way it is. And if something were to happen to him, something really bad comes out about him, he's losing a lot of money, especially from, like if Ohtani's not playing, how much money do you lose from that overseas fan base, right? So I think he's saying, let's sweep this and just don't let it happen again. Don't let me have to suspend you type of thing. But we'll see what else is coming. I mean, he had a good game today and
did Ohtani things.
He did Ohtani things. So I want to kind of give what I want to do every week as we do this podcast. I want to give my power rankings, right? So this is my top 10 teams in the league right now. I have a reason why they are.
Oh, so these are going to be dynamic for us. You're going to change these on a weekly basis.
They're going to change. And I'm going to show you who's going to drop. This is mine. And again, out of everybody on this podcast, I'm probably the last person you should listen to when it comes to what team is better than another team. I'm just going with what I feel.
That's not true. You get to watch more games than us right now.
Man. At once,
At once, yeah.
So this is Brandon's power rankings for the MLB right now. And this is given in account of the first set of games that have happened and games that haven't happened yet. Like this, there is some reason for all of this. So here's what I'm going to do. Number 1 is the Dodgers. Self-explanatory. Don't need to talk about it. 2 is the Braves. 3 is the Baltimore Orioles. 4 is the Houston Astros. 5 is the Yankees. Interesting, right? I got the Astros above the Yankees, even though the Yankees won. I do not believe in the Yankees rotation. And I believe in the Astros better if rotation. They won. I believe in the Astros rotation more than the Yankees rotation. That's what that comes down to. I got Seattle at 6. I got the Diamondbacks at 7. I got the Phillies at 8, the Rangers at 9, and the Reds at 10. That's the power ranking for this week. And I'll come back next week and we'll see how that has changed. There the Tigers might be undefeated, and I might need to throw them in there. Who knows? But let's before we hop off. I know, Chandler, we really want to talk about some streaming options fantasy wise in baseball that could help you this weekend, that could help you next week. How about you kick that off? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So I've got 5 names to keep an eye out for. Specifically, again, we're recording Thursday. This gets put out on Friday. So we're talking Saturday, Sunday here, right? And I'm going to try to bring this to y'all every single week that we do this. I love fantasy baseball. That's my forte. That's where my knowledge lies. And this is what I'm scouring this information literally all day, every day, without missing a day. Take it for what it's worth, but we're gonna have 2 little segments here. It's called one's called how to win your weekend, or how to win your matchup on the weekend, and the other segment's gonna be how to lose your matchup on a weekend, right? These are low percentage owned guys according to ESPN leagues. Again, that's what we use as ESPN. And right now, because we don't have much history to base off of for the 2024 season, this is based off of hope and the matchup, right? So what we hope they do and who they're playing against. Okay. First and foremost, he is 50.1% owned, but Kenta Maeda with the Detroit Tigers. Again, they won 1-0 today against the Chicago White Sox. He pitches Saturday, March 30th against the White Sox. Probably the top streamer going into the weekend, just from a matchup and a history standpoint. 2 is Brandon, and we looked up this guy's last name. Fat. Right? Brandon Fat. Starting pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He pitches Sunday, March 31st against the Colorado Rockies. Not in Colorado. That is in Arizona. You don't have to worry about the atmosphere. He's only 20.4% owned. And I think he's going to come in at the 4th man of the rotation, or maybe 5th man of this rotation for the time being for Arizona. Keep an eye on him while he's available. Stream him this weekend. Don't miss out. 3rd guy, Jack Flaherty. He had great season a couple years ago with the Cardinals, bounced around this past year, but he's also on the Tigers now. He's also playing the White Sox. If you catch up on it, I'm not high on the White Sox, no matter which way you cut it. He's only 9.2% owned, and he's pitching Sunday as well. Tyler Wells with the Baltimore Orioles. We beat the Baltimore Orioles, how high we are on that team, to death today already. I won't say too much more about it. And we also beat to death the Los Angeles Angels because of how badly they are. 5.7% owned, and he's pitching Sunday. Keep an eye on that matchup. And last but not least is Michael Soroka. He pitches for the White Sox. He's playing against the Tigers. I don't think it's the same outcome that they had today. It's not going to be a 1-0 game. I actually think he'll be lined up for the win. We just need the White Sox to actually put up some runs. He's only 3.1% owned, but this guy's not going to catch you a loss. He might not go 5 innings for the actual win, but he could still get you, 15 to 18 points in 4.5 innings, or 4 2/3. So keep an eye on that guy as well. Again, first week of the season here. So this is I'm going to say this once and probably not going to bring it up again, right? The only way to guarantee to lose your matchup on the weekend is to do nothing. And I say do nothing, not as in you already have 6 starting pitchers lined up for Sunday, right? That's not, and therefore you don't make any moves. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you have holes in your roster. You need to make something happen, and you just sit on your hands and do nothing, right? That's even if you already have a 2-day advantage over your opponent, right? If they're doing something and you're doing nothing, they have a chance to beat you. If you're both doing something, right, and neither one of you are doing nothing, you both have an equal chance of shitting the bed or scoring lights out points. So at least do something, right? That's all I'll say. I just gave you 5 decent starters, streamers for this weekend. Again, completely based on matchups. If y'all hear this, they're available in your league, and you still choose to not pick up any of these guys, don't come back to White 80 Podcast. Be like, I lost my matchup this week. No, that's on you because you did nothing. All right.
That's all I got.
Sound just like that too.
You could be like Colby and get Frankie Montez and stream him. Yep. Have him put up 37 fucking points and then drop him. You're so misogynistic, Colby. Just use him, toss him to the curb.
Mm-hmm. I sure do.
That's disrespect. I'm playing Colby, by the way. So that was all. I ate those 30 points like no other. But
I'll go ahead and feed into I got 2 streamers for next week as well, but then I'll get off my soapbox here. But just looking ahead at next week. So Monday is the new week for week 2 fantasy baseball. I've got 2 guys to keep your eye on because they have a 2-start week lined up for them. Shota Imanaga, starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. He pitches Monday against the Rockies in Chicago. Again, not in the high altitude atmosphere. So his second matchup, he's either going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just keep an eye on that guy. You pick him up on Monday. You don't necessarily want to drop him. Wait for that second start to happen. And then Dean Kramer, again, Baltimore Orioles. You'll hear us say it plenty of times. His first matchup is Monday, April 1st against the Royals, which they didn't do much today. I think it's going to take them a little bit to get the ball rolling. I don't know if the Royals have much of a chance to beat the Orioles on any day of the week this year, but we'll see what happens. And then again, same thing with him. His second matchup is going to be either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. This guy was one of the top streamers at the end of last season, one of the most consistent 20 to 40 point guys that you could possibly find. And the fact that he didn't get drafted in the majority of leagues this year is unreal to me. But Shohei Imanaga with the Cubs and Dean Kramer with the Orioles. Grab those guys next week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to add. I have one player for this weekend, Sunday. I have a pitcher for Sunday, and then I also have a bat that you could pick up that has a pretty decent matchup. So I got Trevor Rogers for Miami. He's playing Pittsburgh on Sunday. Pittsburgh struck out 15 times today. So they're going to strike
That's
out a lot. Could be a solid pickup. Trevor Rogers a couple years ago was one of the best ground ball pitchers that there was very highly regarded. Injuries obviously have gotten in the way, but with that Marlins team, he needs to be healthy for that team to go anywhere, especially with Sandy going down. He's at 2.8% owned in ESPN leagues. So he's available. I picked him up. I'm playing him on Sunday. So I'm practicing what I preach right now. And a nice bat that you can pick up if you're into streaming bats. Ryan Mountcastle for Baltimore. He's batting third for the Orioles. What else do I have to say? You know? And he's playing the Angels tomorrow and the next day, playing the Angels. And then if you want to keep him into the beginning of next week, they open up with a series against KC, which is not the worst matchup. So Ryan Mountcastle, he's 9.8% owned in ESPN leagues. So those are my two.
When is Rogers pitching? You said Sunday?
Sunday.
See, I need all listeners to get that through y'all's head. We're going into Friday and we're picking up Sunday matchups. You cannot wait until Saturday evening to get your next day streamers.
You have to look at that schedule.
Do it ahead.
Look at that schedule. Colby, who you got?
So I got a batter and a pitcher. My batter pickup is going to be Jeremy Pena. Dude went 2 for 4 today.
He had a good game today.
I think he's going to have a career year. He's 25% owned. It's crazy. If you need a shortstop, he's out there, and I would highly recommend picking him up. But my pitcher for this weekend pickup is going to be Gavin Stone. He's 16.7% owned. He is playing on March 31st. And he's playing against St. Louis at Dodger Stadium. So
that's good pickup.
In spring, the last 11 batters he faced, he struck out 8 of them. So he's got a lot of hype behind him right now. And if you're playing a pitcher from the Dodgers, you got run support. So he's going to be a good pickup.
Good chance for a win.
Also, I want to talk about this. Okay, check this out. So I found this out, and I think this is super cool.
What do we like?
So for those who don't know, the XFL and the XFL and the USFL merged, and they're now the United Football League. They kick off this weekend if you guys are interested. But I went and looked at the rosters, okay? One little name kind of poked out, right? And there's a gentleman, a quarterback for the San Antonio team, the San Antonio Brahmas, right?
Is it Johnny?
His name is Tom Flacco.
Hey!
What? So I get to Googling and Wikipediaing. Tom Flacco's the younger brother of Joe Flacco.
How much younger? Because Joe's kind of old.
He's 29.
Wow, that's a 10-year age difference.
I think he played at, I don't want to misquote him. I don't want to misquote where he played, but he played college ball at Townsend, like the Division II school.
Flacco University.
He's on the roster. I hope he becomes a starter because how cool would that be if Joe Flacco's little brother is the slinging him down in now the United Football League, the UFL. But I wrote that
That
down
would
in
be
my
cool.
notes because I just had to share that, and I think that's super funny. But yeah, Joe Flacco's
I
little
like it.
brother is playing for the San Antonio team in the UFL. Okay, you guys want to get into some drafting?
3, 2, 1, go.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right, so we are getting to the draft portion of the podcast.
Do it every week.
We do it every week.
Every week.
Every week. It's been fun. Today we are kind of, I guess we're staying home on this one, right? We are doing the best Houston pro sports players. Our caveat is the players on this list had to play for a Houston sports team. There's little loopholes that we can get into.
Yeah, not
that.
from Houston, but
Not
actually
from Houston,
playing
but
on a professional
playing
Houston
for
sports team.
the Houston teams.
Yep.
And
y'all in the comments, let us know what city to do next.
So I'm trying to remember the order. So I know that last pod, who went first last time? Does anyone remember?
Colby, did you go first last time?
Maybe, I don't know. Forget.
So how we want to do? I don't really
watch it
care if
back.
we keep going in
I
order.
say Brandon, Chandler, me.
Okay.
All right, make it happen.
Colby, when you are more decisive, I feel like we're a better unit, and I just want to say that.
100%.
Let's do it.
Brandon,
Yeah.
Chandler. Thanks, Dad. Okay, so I'll lead it off, and I feel like I should go baseball because I know y'all are gonna go baseball, and I want to mess with y'all's team. But I'm going to just take the best Houston athlete, and I'm going to go Hakeem Olajuwon.
Nice.
2-time champion. You know what can you do? Best Rocket in history. Give me Hakeem at 1. Chandler, what you got?
Give me Earl Campbell.
Ooh, I thought I would get him later round. Okay.
No, I like him a lot.
Nice. Earl Campbell, refrigerator.
All right. What you got, Colby?
And so many, by the way. There's so many.
I'm gonna go with the best Astro to ever wear that uniform. It's gonna be Jose Altuve.
Yeah. Let's go, baby.
See, I thought about taking him at 1, but I think I would lose out on Hakeem. So that's fine. All right, Colby, going back to back.
Whoa. Let's see. I'm gonna go JJ Watt.
Son of a biscuit eating donut, man.
That's such a good pick. And I thought he was for sure going to one of y'all first, but Colby gets him on the roundabout of 2. What you got, Chandler?
We're gonna try to spread out the love between sports here. Give me Nolan Ryan.
Yep.
Noli.
I mean, what can you do at that point? Honestly.
Nothing.
On me, give me Andre Johnson.
Nice.
Oh, Andre.
I feel like that smoke alarm noise came from Brandon's mouth.
I think it probably did. I think, man, for my next pick,
pick 3.
This is tough.
Round 3.
Give me Justin Verlander.
Ooh. Okay.
I mean, championships. What can you say?
Okay.
Chandler, what you got at 3?
All right, for 3. Ooh. Okay. We're gonna go Craig Biggio.
Yep.
Nice,
my baseball idol growing up.
Saw that one coming.
Colby,
for your next 2, who you got?
I'm going with Warren Moon.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Hall of Famer.
HOF.
What you got next?
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go with so many, bro. I'm going to go with Tracy McGrady.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Only one that hasn't been on my list as far as Verlander.
Yeah, because I'm trying to, when I'm making my picks, I'm trying to think of team success when that player was playing. And if a championship came of that, I feel like that's a good pick.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I'm trying to stick with iconic, right? Which is why we're going Yao Ming.
Wow. I can't believe I'm about to get this guy at 4. That's crazy.
Yeah,
well, don't say it. Don't do it.
Okay, I'm taking James Harden at 4. He's
Nice.
the
Yeah.
second best Rocket of all time, and
Yeah, I was debating between him
to-
and Yao, but I just feel like Yao's a little bit
he's
more influential.
yeah. You're right. You get the overseas fan base. I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well,
Um,
and the steakhouse. Come on now.
yeah.
I've never
So,
been there, by the way.
James Harden, the second best Rocket of all. I got the first and second best Rocket, so I'll take that all day long.
Hey, do you like
And
Nice.
basketball?
I don't even really know what that is.
That's fair enough.
And then so I'm going, this ends the team right here, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna, just so you guys can smile, because I love it when you guys smile. Give me Roy Oswalt.
Nice.
Yes.
I actually love that pick.
Oswalt.
Yep. I
He was
love
my
that pick.
favorite, like, pitching.
Just
Like, the way
because
he
I
pitched,
like
it
to
was-
see you guys smile.
Thanks, guy.
So I feel like
Wait, hold on.
being. Oh, you got another one or no?
No.
Okay.
I just, in my head, I just pictured you saying a name,
Yeah,
and I
no,
laughed.
that's my point. That's my point. I feel like being 9 weeks in, 9 episodes in, not only can you two guess it,
It's coming.
the audience can guess it. Go
Let's
ahead. Tell me
go.
who it is, B. Tell me who it
It's
is.
Mr. C.
Yes,
J.
sir.
Stroud.
Yes, sir.
What?
CJ Stroud coming in at pick 5.
Oh my
Dang
God.
it.
Arian
Yep.
Foster's punching the air right now.
He's on my list over here, but come on now. I got to give it to the boy.
D'Amico Ryan's
Oh
out here
my
punching a wall
gosh.
after that pick. All right,
Honorable mention.
Colby, finish the team. Who you got?
Is this this is the last one, huh?
This is it for you.
All right. I can't believe you guys did not pick this guy. Okay. He is long tenured Texan, absolute GOAT, Hall of Famer. Gimme John Weeks.
John Weeks!
John Weeks,
long
baby!
snapper.
The long snapper.
That's fantastic.
15
dude.
years,
Yep.
15 seasons with the
Yep.
Texans, the
That's
best long
fantastic.
snapper in Texans history.
Yep.
Come on, baby.
Probably the only one.
Yeah.
I think he's played since the team was created. Oh my God.
That's
so
awesome.
let's round out the team. So I'm sitting with Hakeem Olajuwon, Andre Johnson, Justin Verlander, James Harden, and Roy Oswalt.
Oh, that's solid.
Chandler's got Earl Campbell, Nolan Ryan, Craig Biggio, Yao Ming, and CJ Stroud.
Yep.
Colby's got Jose Altuve, JJ Watt, Warren Moon, Tracy McGrady, and John Weeks.
I love the John Weeks.
Literally, my entire team was picked. All my pool was drafted, so I didn't have.
I got 3 left.
I got one more, and this was the funny one.
I had 18.
Jesus.
I got 15. Yep.
One guy, not a team player, but Derek Lewis in the UFC, most knockouts in UFC history.
I like
Lives
it.
in Cyprus, right down the road.
Yep.
He's was very close to me where I lived in Houston, and we would see his truck all the time. But he's the most knockouts in UFC history. Fought for 2 belts, got dominated in both the fights, so that sucks. But yeah, I had Derek Lewis. That's the only other name that I had. Who'd y'all have?
I got 3 honorables. One, we got to hit Jeff Bagwell. You know, he's awesome. Right there with Biggio. But I think this guy's super special because now he's coaching. He played for the Texans. Now he's coaching the Texans.
D'Amico Ryan.
I freaking love it. If it wasn't CJ Stroud in the 5-hole, it would have been D'Amico for me. And then y'all know I like my Olympics, and so we're going with the Houston girl, Simone Biles. I know it doesn't count, but that's the one where she's from where we're from.
Yeah.
And she's always representing on the world stage and the best at it.
The best. She's phenomenal. Do you have
Hell
any more?
Yeah.
Colby, you had like 30 more, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us some highlights?
Arian Foster.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Arian Foster. Yeah.
Did you say Arian Foster? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying when he picked CJ Stroud, I said Arian Foster's punching the air right now.
Okay. Yeah. Arian Foster. And then Moses Malone, dude.
I like it.
2-time MVP.
Double machine.
I like it.
Yeah. That guy was there.
That guy was there.
No big deal.
Alex Bregman, too, man. He's my favorite.
Breggy.
A sleeper pick, Rudy Tomjanovich. He coached the Rockets for the 2 championships and was a really good power forward back in the day for the Rockets. Averaged like 19 a game. Rudy Tomjanovich would have been a cool one.
That's cool. I feel like we should have taken the double dip first, like D'Amico and Tomjanovich. You know.
Yeah.
But
I respect it.
2020.
So many good names, man.
That was fun to do.
Houston's got good.
And I was thinking, we have to use our Googles for some, but if we ever just can't find a good topic for a draft. I was thinking we could do other cities, like best Chicago athletes, best, whatever, Denver athletes. I mean, it's just that was fun to do.
That's what I was saying before we kicked off the actual list here. Is somebody in the comments give us the next city to do?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
let us know.
Colby, you want to get into some golf stuffs?
Sure, dude. It's gonna be quick and easy.
Colby Garner.
Yeah. Those guys, yeah, he's shooting really well. No, so we got the Houston Open going right now. This tournament is going down in Houston right now, and it's another big one, guys. It's a lot of big names here. We're gonna switch up our strategy here. We're gonna start aiming towards the middle of the pack. And reason being is because if you mind you, if somebody's playing really good, odds are they're going to keep playing good, but rarely are they going to, like, if they shoot 5 under or so, I would say rarely do they do it again. They might shoot 2 under, they might shoot 1 under. If you're Scotty Scheffler, yeah, you're going to shoot 5 under every day pretty much because dude's just balling out. He's also playing in this tournament. He's going for 12-8. I'm not touching him. Even though he's so good, I want to delegate my money elsewhere. So relatively we're spending, between 9, 8, and 7. I'm not going to 10 this time. The overall prognosis is that's even applicable here is we're going with middle of the pack guys. We're gonna go with Tony Finau, the Phenom. I believe he's going for 98 right now.
Quick question: does anybody do the Feeney call when it comes to him?
Feeney? Oh, that would be so
they
cool.
Should continue.
I would love to do that. Man, I would love to do that. So yeah, we got Tony Phenom. The Tony Phenom is going for 9,500. He's sitting at 1 under right now. Tony is, I think, top 10 in the world. He's a guy that's never ever going to do bad. He's at -1 right now, and there's a lot to improve. He's playing good, but we're looking for the second day here. Like I said, guys, this is for day 2. And Tony Finau is one of the best in the world right now. He is at 1 under, and I think there's a lot more improvement. I think he can play way better than what he's playing. So I'm going with Tony Finau at 9,500. Next, we got Steven Jaeger. Steven Jaeger is a guy that has turned it on from the very beginning of this year. Steven Jaeger is going for 8,900. He's one of those guys last year that was kind of middle of the pack, but now he's making his surge to the top. Jaeger has maybe had 1 or 2 bad tournaments out of like 10. He's very solid. He's one of the guys that I would trust in this tournament. I think this tournament is more or less 100 yards in and chipping. That's what is more emphasized in this tournament is 100 yards in and chipping and putting. So Steven Jaeger is one of those guys. He's very good from 100 yards in, 150 yards in, really good. So we're going to go with Steven Jaeger at 8,900. We're going with Doug Gim. This will be like the 3rd time in a row that I've gone with this guy. He was the guy that I told you guys that's has a top 15 finish in the past like 6 tournaments.
Yeah.
The last tournament that he had, I believe he was T32 or something like that. But dude's playing out of his mind. And
you wanted to say something else.
Family friendly.
Friendly.
So, yep. So we're gonna go with Doug Gim. He's a character. Love him. He's got good energy out there. Love to watch him play. And then we're gonna go with Cameron Davis. These are the back half guys. These guys are going for 7,800, 7,500, 7,700. Mind you, like I said, I'm not anywhere in the 10s. My pay is 9, 8, and 7. We're going with middle of the pack guys here. Cameron Davis. Cameron Davis. He's one of those guys. He's young. He's really good. He's shooting at 2 under right now, tied for 17th. He's going for 7,800. He's one of the guys that kind of fits the mold. He's really a good second shot play. and that's what we're kind of hoping with him, is for him to make up for maybe his lack in some things, like the chipping and the putting. But if he can get himself close to the hole in the second shot, then I got good high hopes for that guy. I'm gonna go with Cameron Davis here. And this guy's name's pretty weird, but it's called Akshay Bhatia. Bhatia is super talented. You guys remember me naming off Will Zalatoris
Yup.
past few. He's kind of like Will Zalatoris in a way. Bhatia is super talented. He's a type of he's a type of guy that can pull shot shapes out of nothing, and it's crisp. He's one of those guys that, like, if he's on, dude, you got to play him, because he's got the talent to like be top 5, man. But he's not the guy that stays around there, but he is totally capable of being a top 5 play. Badia is a good player, and he's been putting well lately. So once his putter's going, he's shooting really well. Um, Badia is going for 7,700, and this is kind of my favorite pick out of the litter. I got Joel Damon. Joel Damon's the gangster. He's the guy that parties all the time. He's a good dude to hang around. He was really bad last year. Not really bad. I wouldn't even want to say really bad last year, but he was not living up to his expectations. And since he turned it on in February, he is playing up to those expectations. He's doing extremely well. He's not a bad bet. He's not going to shoot bad, and he's at 1 under right now. And I see a lot of improvement for Joel. Joel's one of those guys, is if he's out there and he's swinging good, he's going to swing good for the rest of the rest of the tournament. I got all these guys making the cut. So if you're wanting to play throughout the rest of the tournament off day 2, I would want to run with these guys. So we got Tony Finau at 9,500. We got Steven Yeager at 8,900. We got Doug Gim at 8,600. I think that's a steal. He's playing really well. You got Cameron Davis at 7,800. You got Akshay Bhatia at 7,700, and then you got Joel Damon at 7,500. That expends all of your salary cap. No room for anything on that. That's all. That's the whole 50K on that. So we're gonna run with those guys for tomorrow.
I love it when you get it down to 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't leave room for, oh, well,
No money
could
on
I
the
pay
table.
more for here, more for there? Yeah, don't
Dude,
leave
just
question.
go with the guys that you like. Who cares if you have $3,000 left over?
Yep.
Go with the dudes you like. And I got 5 on it, like always. So let's jump into some UFC. You know how we do it around here.
Good old Ufka.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's been last week I broke even. Basically walked away with the money I showed up with. So it was all right, but I want to try to be better today, or I guess this weekend. But this is another free card, and we have some interesting names. I love the main event. You got Erin Blanchfield going against, she's French, so I'm going to try to say this name correctly. I believe it's Manon Fiorot, I believe. I'm sure you have to do something with that R besides what I just did, but I'm not gonna try because I think I think I'll get my tongue tied. But she's actually one of my favorite fighters right now, and she's sitting at a plus 150 underdog. So guess what I'm about to do with this. But there's actually some really good fights. This is I think it's 6 p.m. Central for these, so it's definitely going to be some entertaining fights. Vincent Luque going against Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley, I'm sure even those who haven't seen UFC have seen that knockout where the dude caught the kick and then he spun around and kicked him with the other foot and put him to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
That was this guy.
Yeah, nice.
That did the kicking, so that's all good. He's going against Vincent Luque, who's for sure a guy that brings it every single time. So we'll definitely see how this goes. Buckley moved down to 170 from 185 and has looked a lot better. So he's in his weight class and he's performing very well. Chris Weidman, we all know Chris Weidman.
Yeah,
Hey.
He's going against Bruno Silva. Weidman definitely needs to not be fighting, but here we are. And we'll see what happens here. We have some Bill Algeo has some great fights. Nate Landwehr is a gamer. You got Gilbert Burns' brother, Herbert Burns fighting. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a good fight. So you know how I do it every single week. I give you 5 bets. You can bet on them individually. You can put them in a parlay. My parlays haven't been doing the greatest, but the individual bets have been having great value. So let's do it because it's always fun to talk about a parlay. So I'm going to change it over to here. And this is what I got. So this is my parlay right here. You guys can see this, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So to start the parlay, I guess going from the bottom to the top, I got Bill Algeo over Kyle Nelson at minus 250. I'm taking it. I am taking Bruno Silva over Chris Weidman because Chris Weidman should not be in there. And it's going to be sad when he gets knocked out, and I'm gonna be very down, but I'm gonna be happy that I picked Bruno Silva. But if Chris Weidman wins, what a story, and then he can retire, and we can all ride off into the sunset. I will gladly lose my parlay so Chris Weidman can retire. I'll do that all day long.
Can't believe he's still fighting.
Dude,
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
he tears and breaks something every single fight, and then you think that must be it, right? Because of your age and you just broke a bone. I think the last fight he tore a bunch of ligaments, and here he is again. But here we go. And this guy, I'm not going to try to say his name, so I'm going to call him Aslan. I am taking him at minus 125. He's fresh off the Dana White Contender Series. He's a finisher, and he's fighting a dude that gets finished. So you could do the math on that one. And then this is the main event, so I'm going to wait from the last. I'm going to wait to talk about this last. I'm going to take Nursultan Ruzibov at
That's the name you roll the dice on. That's
that.
the one.
That's the one I try. Usually if it ends with a V, I can do okay.
Nice.
But that at minus 225, I'm taking that. And then the main event, Blanchfield going against Farrow. I'm gonna take Farrow. She's at plus 150 underdog. I definitely think Blanchfield is a very complete mixed martial artist. She leans more towards clinch situations and grappling. I think Farrow, she's a striker and she throws with force and throws in combinations. I think she's going to punish Blanchfield whenever she tries to close the distance by hitting her with 4 or 5 shots. Farrow just beat Rose Namajunas in her last fight. So she can beat high level people. So I'm taking her at plus 150. If you parlay these bets that I gave you, 50 wins you $587.
Big ones, big ones.
And yeah, should be a fun evening. I have to do my wife's doing maternity pictures where she puts on a crown and a dress with her belly poking out, and I have to do this. So I'm going to go get professionally taken photos on Saturday, but they're before the fights, so we're good. All right, so we have player perspective, and then we'll shut this down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get to end it on a game.
We get to end it on the game. I think that's better. Let's go. Mine's funny, so I'm gonna go. Mine's not really require a lot of thinking. There is the guessing aspect of it, but I got one retired quarterback and one quarterback that's still playing. But once you look,
whoa.
Obviously, it leans one way, but obviously the games played are similar. So we're looking at the same body of work. So one on the right is a quarterback that is still playing. One on the left is a retired quarterback. Any initial guesses?
May I ask this question? Is this like relative years played?
So I'll say this, okay? Obviously this guy's retired. He's done. He has his career. This guy, obviously the games almost match up. So it's the same amount of games, same body of work.
Okay.
But the guy on the right, I would say he's obviously a little up there in age given the games. So, I mean, you could do that math on your own. But any initial guesses? Left is retired, right is still playing.
Trent Green left.
No. And that's so funny that you guessed that, and you're going to understand why whenever I reveal it.
Does that mean it's Trent
Dilfer? When finding this player perspective, I think I stumbled upon a theory that I didn't know I believed until I'm looking at all the numbers. But anybody got any guesses?
Right is Matthew Stafford.
I like that guess. But no.
That's not it.
It's not Matthew Stafford.
100 rating. Jesus.
Yeah, 100 rating. 5.4 rushing yards.
Okay, so I guess for the audio listeners, let me not leave them out to dry. Yeah. So on the left, we have a retired quarterback. He's played 192 games, has a win-loss record of 117-47.
Good record.
Completion percentage, really good record. Completion percentage of 63%, about 40,500 yards, 211 yards per game, 273 touchdowns, 139 interceptions with a I was looking at the number underneath it, 92.3 quarterback rating. The guy on the right has played 188 games, win-loss record of 115-72, has a completion percentage of 64.7, has over 43,000 passing yards, 232 yards per game, 334 passing touchdowns to 106 interceptions with a 100 passer rating. Even also has 5,300 rushing yards for those who care. So for those who don't have a visual representation, the guy on the right basically wins in every single category besides just the win-loss record.
I want the guy on the right to be Kirk Cousins.
But no, not Kirk Cousins.
It's not him.
I love the guesses. The guesses are good.
And then my guess for left is Ben Roethlisberger.
No.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna start.
It seems to me that because the game has changed, that's why we got the right having more statistically. Does that make sense?
You can say that.
Four games less, and he's got what, 3,000 more yards?
Okay, is the guy on the right still starting?
That's debatable.
Oh, okay.
Joe Flacco.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. So
Joe
it's
Flacco
is
not Joe Flacco. It's not Joe Flacco.
Is it Russell Wilson?
It is Russell Wilson on the right.
Man, good
on the right is Russell Wilson. Okay.
So then left.
On the left. We have any more guesses, or should I let it out?
I want
Dante Culpepper.
God, no.
I want how recently did this guy retire? Last 10. And I don't need like a year, but like last 10 years.
This guy's been retired.
Rich Gannon.
Jesus, really? I respect these guesses. Guy on the left is very highly regarded. I'll say that.
Let's go with no, he ran way more. I don't know. Doug Flutie popped in my head, but that ain't it.
No.
Peyton Manning.
No, not Peyton Manning. All the guesses of pretty average to good quarterbacks is super interesting when I reveal who this is.
Send it.
On the left is arguably the second, in most people's eyes, second best quarterback of all time. This is Joe Montana on the left.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hall of Famer.
Yep.
4 championships. And then you got Russell Wilson. I have stumbled upon one of two or maybe both takes. One is that Joe Montana is overrated, or two, Russell Wilson is just so much better than anyone gives him credit for.
I would agree with both.
It's one of those two, maybe both. I don't know. But I found these. I sit here and I do player perspectives, and I'm pairing up people, pairing up, and I'm trying to find interesting, thought-provoking comparisons. And then for some reason, I plug Russell Wilson with Joe Montana, and I'm looking at the number of games, and I'm looking at the yards per game. It's different. I mean, we're talking, 20 yards. And
way more prolific passing.
Interesting. And then Joe Montana is considered behind Brady. I mean, in a lot of people's conversations, the second He's in the 3. And I'm like, but then look at this. And if Russell Wilson's here, put other quarterbacks here and think about that.
Yep.
Anywho.
I'm gonna forget, but I'm gonna ask for it anyway. Let's get a Kirk Cousins Russell Wilson comparison next time.
Okay. I
I
respect it.
I think that'll be interesting. But yeah, I think everybody sleeps on how prolific Wilson was with
And
Seattle.
I don't want people to watch this pod and be like, Brandon's always bringing up Russell Wilson, and I've used him for another player comparison in the past, and I get that. But I think I stumbled upon something here.
Yeah.
I've never been a Russell Wilson guy. I could not care and give two shits about him. But I'm looking at all the numbers and I'm like, wait, something's here that no one's talking about. And I'm finding it out more and more as I go into these.
Yeah.
All right.
I love Russell Wilson. The way he played in Seattle, the kind of
Unreal.
throws that guy was making, crazy.
All right. We got
Okay.
Colby's player
We got some
perspective.
hitters.
So let's preface this obviously the guy on the left is a Hall of Famer, obviously retired. The guy on the right is still playing.
Okay.
The guy on the left has played more years, obviously. So the metric here is their first. I don't know if I want to give this away. How many years they've played? Should I do that?
So let us get some preliminary guesses first.
Yeah,
Okay.
Before you start breaking it down.
Right. So guy on the right, basically 10 seasons, maybe 11, missing some couple games, right? 162
more.
A year. 162 games a year.
293 stolen bases is crazy.
Left is Hall of Fame. Right is still playing.
Yes.
Every
Right's
bone in
not
my
Mike
body
Trout.
wants to say Mike Trout.
But Mike Trout doesn't steal that many bases, does he?
Well, he also doesn't have an LCS MVP, I don't believe.
Yeah, it's not Mike Trout.
I'll say how this is through their first 13 seasons.
13.
And he's still playing? Dude. Man. I don't know near enough about baseball to really give good guesses here.
Okay.
And on the left is a Hall of Famer. Batting average of 317. Huh.
Monster numbers on the left. I mean, they're both monster numbers.
Can we get a position for them?
Can I just say infield?
Yeah,
that's fine.
They are different though.
But they're infield. So
yes. They're not the same position, but
second, third, or short. They're second, third, or short. They're one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Man. All right. So let me. Now that I'm trying to guess too much. So we got a retired Hall of Famer on the left, infielder, career 1,835 games, 195 homers, 933 RBIs, 264 stolen bases, a career average of 317. Holy shit.
Through 13 seasons.
On base percentage of 388, slugging 462, OPS 851, 4 championships, 8 All-Stars, 3 Gold Gloves, 2 Silver Slugger, 1 World Series MVP. Guy on the right still playing. 1,668 games, 209 homers, 747 RBIs, 293 stolen bases, a batting average of 307, on base percentage of 364, slugging 471, OPS of 834. He has 1 MVP, 8 All-Stars, 3 batting titles, 6 Silver Sluggers, 1 Gold Glove, 1 LCS MVP.
Would you say that these are very similar in stats?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I think it's crazy.
The guy
close.
on the right must play on some shitty teams because the RBIs are so low.
Well, look at the plate appearances, 1,100 different.
Yeah.
The guy on the right belts some bombs though, and he still plays.
1170 looks like the difference in games.
Is that a Mookie? Is that a Mookie on the right?
No.
No, it's not Mookie. Mookie. And
Which
I don't know what
good guess though.
Is championships like World Series? World Series.
World Series. God, that 307.
So he won 4 championships. That guy's won 2 championships.
The stolen bases for some reason is Chandler do the math. How many stolen bases is that per year?
Where's the number? To that
293.
And they played for 13 years.
Yeah.
13 seasons.
They make calculators, man.
1170 pretty much games difference though.
22 and a half a year. So
Okay, so he's a 2020 guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this. I really do.
And these names are going to be like, oh, duh.
Of course, duh.
All right, left Hall of Fame 8.
I'll say left is arguably the best to ever do it at his position.
Infield though.
Derek Jeter.
Yep.
Nice.
Left is Derek Jeter.
Left is Derek Jeter. Right. Okay, it's Colby. So let's think Houston. Who we got in Houston that's put up these numbers? Come on now. Jose Altuve.
Yay.
No.
I was like, let me channel my brother's brain and I can figure this out.
Doesn't he have 3,000 hits?
Yep. Yeah, man.
Derek Jeter and Jose Altuve.
Pretty similar. And Jose's played less games.
I'm actually seeing, now that we talked about this, which is funny, I'm seeing, you know how, Colby, you sent me videos about like the LeBron Jordan debate?
I didn't even like finish that TikTok.
That
I just thought hilarious. It was funny that I just thought it was funny they had the courtroom thing going.
I am seeing a lot of people who are saying like Derek Jeter was not that good. Like I've seen a bunch of people who know more about baseball than me. And then they're saying like analytically speaking, they're like, he had a great glove. He had a decent bat.
Yeah.
Like
he was much better defensively.
If he wasn't a Yankee, he would not be as highly touted as he is now.
Really, if he didn't make that, that one play at shortstop, not one play, but he did it several times. Yeah, the jump throw. If he didn't make that a thing, be a different map we're looking at.
That's like all the shortstops do that.
They try to.
Yep.
Mookie tried it, failed.
Fucking
Mookie.
I thought that was super interesting because, like, I mean, if we're talking about like Hall of Famers or watching greatness, it's like, I mean, obviously you guys know how great Jose is, but just compared to arguably the best shortstop in the game.
Yep.
You see him, at second base. Obviously it's two different positions, but batting wise and producing, it's very similar.
I give the edge to Altuve, man. 1,100 less plate appearances.
More homers, more stolen bases.
It's funny because with the amount of videos that I'm seeing talking about Derek Jeter's not as good as people say, like that might not even be a crazy take to say Altuve.
Yep.
But
like better than Jeter.
It's almost 2 right.
That's all we have on the agenda today. Does anybody have any last minute thoughts before I go around for words of wisdom?
No, I actually have words of wisdom this time, though.
Okay, Chandler, I'll start with you. What are your words of wisdom to our listeners?
I think for those that tuned in today, you really want to catch it next week because we'll have the first full week of fantasy baseball under our belts. And if the information that we gave y'all today ended up being helpful, what we're going to give y'all next week is 10 times more valuable.
And if me and Colby aren't talking, it means he beat me. And I'm not going to talk to him because you're supposed to let the little brother win. That's just how it goes. Colby, what are your words of wisdom to our listeners?
Grip it and rip it, baby.
Let's go.
Keep moving.
God,
we're still talking about golf.
We're going to have a shirt one day and it's going to be great. So we are the Wide 80 podcast. Appreciate anybody. Keep arguing in the comments. I've been putting y'all on some body bags in the comments. I'm gonna be honest. Like, know the rules.
They're really just shooting themselves in the foot.
Know the rules before you come at me. You know, because there's one thing I know, and that's the rules.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna be wrong a lot, but we won't be as unprepared.
I'm so wrong, but I'm gonna make sure if I say something stupid, it's because of hope and aspiration and never off of a misunderstanding of the game itself. And those are my words of wisdom. But all right, guys, we are the Wide 80 podcast signing off.
Always fun.